Good morning. It's the crypto day morning. Today's date, well, that comes in that of the 26th of February 2019. It's a Tuesday. My name's Derek. All bets, trades of the like, within each his own risk and their own reward. All right, we rised up to the 4100 piercing above, which it usually does, and then it doesn't pierce extra here on this decline. It's still May, but it is still pausing after the decline day, which is no surprise. After all, I'd be expecting some sort of sideways consolidation to occur after an event like this. And today's day, even lower volatile thus far than yesterday's, little past the halfway point. It's 9:10 a.m. Eastern Time. Looking at the single hour term, what occurred in here as after the decline, price action managed to get above this short-term level of resistance, thus establish a little higher of a one. That's to be expected as well if this is to be going into a neutral market. Thus, same thing, you could be expanding support as well from this established area here. Well, first it was established at about 37.17. Then this low ups it to about 37.30, although the 37, well, 12 even, still previous level. And then we came up and supported a higher low, supporting another higher low, and even still continuing to do that. Getting symmetrical again, just common. No way I could try to predict accurately with any type of conviction that, oh, the next move is going to be up or down. I'm not even trying to go near that one. Instead, I often talk about the trading strategies that are available in the more information box, at least the multi-part series. And just recently, using an example for short-term and intermediate-term trading, using that of NLC2, which is something I'm doing, but I'm using an example going back with history. And within it, I'm going back all the way to the start of this and seeing how this would work, trading the normal intermediate term I talk about, waiting for like 25, 30, 40% moves and then selling and then buying back with equivalency, same equivalency move lower or whatever the message of the market shows. And I did that video yesterday going over levels from the start of this on Bittrex up until current. For what I did is I took levels going back to when it was 949 and then just kept on having trades. There worked out to be about 30 of them. And I've accumulated or entered data up to this point in here using the short-term analysis that I mentioned, where you'd be selling a half of 1% or 1/200th of what you own, and really selling every 1% ish or so every time on the way up or down, or buying 1% every 1% move, and then waiting for 10% moves to either sell or buy back. And how this is done, and this technically should be bold as if it matters, is I started off buying the 100,000 in this example, which would have costed about 1 Bitcoin. Now, the example that I talk about is if you're trading on something like this, if you have another same unit you invest in, it should take a long, long time before that would run out. So how I did this is I got net Bitcoin 1.038. So let's assume you'd start with about 2 Bitcoin at that time within the trade. One you're going to buy immediately, and then one you're just going to keep on using for new buys. Not buybacks, but new buys. As in this example, we can see selling 500 all of those times. Don't want to do that. Let me go ahead and do that. Which I can just probably do this way. Where's the undo? I'm used to just pushing Control Z, and I don't have my keyboard anywhere too close to me right now. Okay, so we see selling 577, 5525, and let me just make this a little bit bigger. The exact same price here. So 500 turned into 552, and the amount of trades that would go on in here, and this should be bold again. Now, what red indicated was the long-term trade. All of a sudden selling 10,000 of these things at this point after selling 500 over and over and over again. In this case, 502 because stakes barely increased. At this point, your inventory would have went from 94,000 to 84. and then just a bunch more trading, and then the buyback. 12,580 on such, that worked out to be a good trade. But there's a lot of these trades. And these numbers here are just me doing calculations when I need to. They don't mean anything as far as the calculations in the spreadsheet. This is new buy. The price goes down to 701. This is row 134. There's just been so many trades, and I got a long ways to go. And now all of a sudden selling 600. I mean, these share sizes go up. And just more trades. There's a lot of them that have gone through. That was ending 719. Then I took a break here and then continued on further. Another new buy at 536. And every single time I bold this, it's a buyback. So what I would do here at 586, the next buy zone would have been 537 mathematically, because I have to reduce 59 points. And 59 points was a mathematical mistake, I think. Albeit, I mean, it'll play fine. And where do we stand right now? It is July 24th at the 5-hour timestamp, which means only several weeks had occurred at this point, with what would turn out to be 246 trades, and you're down. You would have 0.43 Bitcoin, so you would have used up 57% of your allocated Bitcoin. And also we would have had 197,000 buys and plus more since the original buy, not counting the first one, which would have been about 1.3 Bitcoin cost. Selling 78,000 of them for a little over 3/5 of 1 Bitcoin, which leaves 118,790 at a little under 0.6 Bitcoin. So starting at 950, price falling down to 336 at this point, which is marginally higher than where it stands today, would have you in at a net average buy at 504. I'm going to be very curious to see how this will be today and how much lower that number is going to be. For as this moves forward, my next plays are going to be the market going up to 795 and a bit more, and then going all the way back down to 200. So I'm going to want to take a look at it up here. I'll do my next update as it reaches this top, and then I'll put another update in when it reaches this 200 low, and then maybe another one when it reaches this 141 low, or at least I'll just put those as key moment times, and then of course where we stand at the current point. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.